And they would go through and we'd coach them up. We were up there for our clinic. And I remember we always had the standard for power clean at the university level was 300 pounds, or 308 pounds for a power clean. I recommended 225 for high school football players. You want a bunch of your guys doing 225 in the high school level. His standard was 245, and he'd have like 60 guys on his team that could power clean 245. Those guys were strong. They won multiple state championships in football in the state of South Carolina. And when he coached, does a great job. We're going to have some hands-on demonstrations here. But anyway, Mike Srock.
All right. Applaud. Thank you. Wait till we're done. But again, thank you for staying. Thank you for being here. I mean, it's truly an honor for me to be here. It's just a chance to give back. So what you're going to see today was really reinforced by the early speakers. How many here are high school? We have a bunch of high school coaches, people. Okay. So our problems are a little bit different. So what I'm going to show you today would be a typical workout, incorporating everything that we just talked about here. We talked about movement, we talked about explosiveness, we talked about acceleration, speed, power. We talked about all that. So over the years, we had great success with putting together we called it Too Fast, Too Strong. We instilled in our athletes, both male and female, that they were going to be stronger and faster than anybody they played. Now, first off, I start off by giving credit to our Lord and Savior. He gets all the credit. I just happened to be a vehicle. I was fortunate to work with young people for 50 years. I tell people I never had a job. I could not wait to get to school every day. Because, you know why? The kids made me laugh. I mean, I laughed out loud once or twice a day at what happened in the weight room, what happened in school. We had great athletes, we had great administrative support. So it was kind of like a perfect storm. But we still had the issue of how are we going to deal, how are we going to get all this work done in a block of time. We were fortunate at our place, we had 4 90-minute blocks of instruction a day. So we did have a little bit of time, but I wanted to be 2 things. I wanted to be very consistent and very relentless with movement training. Because what I have seen over the years, everybody does that during the summer when you have all kinds of time. Everybody does it in their off season when there's time. As soon as the season starts, I don't see a whole lot of development going on. They're still lifting. What I see in development is becoming more conditioning, which we'll talk. That's a different cat. We're going to talk about conditioning at the end too. Just some different ideas to condition your teams. But this program was set up. It worked. We did it for every sport. It didn't matter. And actually, we had a pretty good run with football. That's what we were known for, football. But actually, the first 2 championships we won were cross country because we instituted this. We're going to show you the drills. We're going to show you movement prep, some absolute drills that are in help your movement. Then we do some low-level skipping, bounding. Then we morph into acceleration. And every team did something like that, whether it was a weight room session, whether it was a practice on the field, the court, the pitch, whatever it was. We did this, and we're going to take some time with some of the drills today, but we got this thing down that we could do this in 20 minutes. This whole thing in 20 minutes as the kids became, now there is a learning curve, so we always put that in the off season. So I prepared this like everybody's going into football now. Football, South Carolina, football is the king. There's 2 seasons in South Carolina, spring football and fall football. There's no other sport. So we put this together for this demonstration because we are about to go into camp as soon as I'll be back 1 more week and then camp starts. I mean, we start playing the 2nd and 3rd week of August. So in season, same development principles happen. We're gonna work on movement prep, we're gonna work on bounding, force production, and we're gonna work on acceleration, no matter the season, no matter the time. And it was an easy sell, because what do most sport coaches want to cut? They want to cut you only have so much time. So we can put this together. I can do 20 minutes of work with the team, any team, and we continue our development, especially the speed part. And we're fortunate we've got 2 demo guys. Okay, we're gonna put them to work a little bit, and that's it. So who did not get a handout? I mean, I don't have a lot. Yeah, we can. There's a couple left. If you need one, they have my email address. I'll send you hard copy. I'm old-fashioned. I send hard copies. One last thing here. There's a handout in there. There's an organization, National Association of Speed and Explosion. It is the only organization, only athletic development organization that focuses on speed and explosion. I mean, everybody in SCA, all the groups touch on it, but this group, head by Dr. George Denneman, a long time, he was one of the first speed guys in the NFL. He tells all the funny stories about towing guys with bungee cords that they'd go 5 miles an hour, that was pretty good. They'd go 6, that was pretty good. They'd get 7, that guy would bounce twice on the pavement, so they'd slow down again. He was one of the original guys. He wrote a whole series called Sport Speed. So he's the head of that organization. It is well worth your time as a coach, a performance coach, in a team setting performance coach, to take a look at that organization. There's certification available, there's membership available. I urge you to take a look at that. It's a first-class group. He's knowledgeable. You can call him up with questions. So again, take a look at that. So now we're going to move that way. This is your demonstration. We're going to show you what we do. If you want to stop, ask a question, see a drill again, please do that. We're going to be up and down, back and forth, so get where you can see. I'm a proponent of having an athlete put anything in their hand, because the first thing that happens when people do that is they squeeze, and now there's no rotation of the shoulder. You run like a choo-choo train, you're real tight, or even worse, you run up here. But these things, I'm sure most of us are familiar with the tsunami bar, the undulating bar. The inventor of that invented these. He came to me and said, what if I had something for you, Coach, that would be flexible, that would do. I had 90 guinea pigs every hour. So he brought me all kinds of stuff. So the speed stick we're looking into is real easy. It's instant feedback because it's very light. Inside there are a bunch of BBs. You can hear them. So what happens when the athlete's arm action is totally correct? He'll hear the BBs, or she, hear the BBs in the tube, and the bar in the end of the tube actually flexes in the direction you're going. Any information, they're sold by a company in South Carolina called Total Speed and Strike. I can give you the contact stuff. Go ahead, guys, just stand there and show them what it's out. So one of the first things we do is work on arm swing. I like it when I heard one of the coaches say, you can make anybody faster. And what I see in high school, that's good. What I see in high school is just so much incorrect technique of running. When you think about it, sprinting is pretty technical. There are some absolutes that you must do if you're going to run fast. I think Coach talked about the force into the ground. Well, the rule of thumb is to run fast, you have to generate 2.14 times your body weight with every stride you take to run a decent football 40. Now, you can run a 40 without that force, but you're not going to be very fast. So the more force you can generate straight into the ground, the faster you're going to go that way. it's the same force that you jump with. The more force you put into the court directly under you, the higher you go that way. So arm action is really, really critical. What we teach, we open the hands. People ask me all the time, what do we do with our hands? You know, you've heard, you know, pinch a string, wrap your, the best that we found was open the hands, point the direction you're going, and technically this is a shoulder rotation. So coaching cues can be hip, cheek to cheek, hip to collarbone, anything, as long as the shoulder rotates, the arm action is correct. They'll hear that when it's correct. Anything else they do, whether they cross their arms in front or they run like a choo-choo train, or they're doing this like playing the drums, I'm moving, coach. But there's no shoulder rotation, so elbow goes past the spine, comes in front of the spine. Now, we punch to the middle without crossing. So again, speed is going to be vertical, very tall, it's going to be square, and it's going to be skinny. So by skinny, I mean everything is inside the framework of your shoulders and your hips. So if you can get your athletes just correct arm action, will solve a lot of problems. Okay. Any questions with that? So what we do, before we start anything, we just work the arms for you. Just swing the arms just like you did. Okay, just stay in place, good, a little faster. Okay, pretty good. Guys close, you can hear the BBs. You can watch into the stick, you'll see a bit. So, okay, relax. Good. All right, here we go. And on your sheet, we'll go right down the list. Now, you don't have to do again, once the learning curve's in place, once the athletes know the drills, this goes quick. Now, we'll spend a little time on explanation or questions, but this goes quick. So, we did the arm swing. Now we're going to just go down. Let's just go the first one. We'll go back and forth with drills. So we call it. We just want to get the lower leg activated. So we're just going to go low, real easy pogo jump. But every drill they do, the arm swing is going to be exactly the same. We never vary it. Even when we move laterally, you're going to see the arm swing. We just reinforce this a million times. Okay, so we'll go ahead and go down, really easy. Bring out, good one. Pretty simple, everybody on that, good. All right, coming back up, the higher and faster. Higher and faster. You know, movement, coordinate the arms. Good movement prep. Next is just an A skip. They skip down. Again, I really like this because now you can watch running technique. You know, knee lift, the watch where they strike. The foot strike should be where? Under the ball of the foot, right? So you get the last skill, the last absolute skill for speed is your head. Your head has got to be still. Anything you do with the athlete does with their head, whether they're bobbing or going side to side, is going to slow them down. So posture, arm swing, head placement, foot placement, it's all in simple drills like these. Okay, come on back, guys. All right, this is the one I got from track. I like the track guys because they really think out of the box. So remember the hammer skip? This is the A skip, but the idea is to accelerate one leg down. So we call it a hammer skip. As they go down, all they're going to be concerned with is the right leg. So when the let's go left leg. When the left leg comes down, I want them to stick it in the ground hard enough that we can hear it. Okay? Hammer skip, left leg, ready? Come on, hit the ground, hit it hard. See the difference in the skip? It's not that slow, pretty skip. It's now we're putting some force into the ground, which is what we want for speed. Let's come back with the right foot. Ready? Go. Good, pretty good. So, again, that takes a little time for that. They try to do it just do one leg at a time. It's just the A skip, but we want to see the acceleration of the foot. And now you're looking at the foot placement. It's got to be under the hip. All right. We talked about that earlier. Anything out in front is going to cause a hamstring issue. All right, so we're getting a lot of running technique and very few moves. Let's go high knees. Everybody does that. Another good technique called the high impact. Don't lean back. Good. Coming back. Again, we like high knee. It teaches posture. I tell them, there's no drum majors out here, so we don't, it's common for the athlete to lean back. We want them tall as they can, watch their head. We want to keep their head still. Right, coming back, high knees. Drop back. See the stick starting to bend? When they move correctly, when the arm swing is correct, the stick is already pulling. And you guys feel it? They can hear it. Let's go butt kicks. Get a little bit of hamstring work. Then the arm swing is always a focus. Okay, coming back. Then we start doing some bending. Let's go lunge to knee hug. Yeah, keep them lifting. Okay. Simple. Now we start to bend. Slow the pace down a little bit. They've got the sticks, but you really want to pull that knee into try and pull it into your chest if you can. Okay, coming back, same way, ready to go. Good. Good. Starting to warm up now, good. All right, let's face these guys this way. Let's go quick feet that real fast, carry on. Now, as we move laterally, the arm action is the same. If you watch a team warm up, I guarantee you 90% of the teams the athletes will be doing something crazy like this. There's nothing you're going to do on a court or a pitch or a football field that you're doing that unless you're standing next to me on the sideline. All right, so low, fast, and square, as quick as you can move. Ready to go? Watch your arm action. Okay, that's pretty good. Okay, coming back. There you go. Good. Your hips just a little lower, but that's all right. Now, let's go that, remember the one I showed, jumping high knee over. It's the same lateral movement. Now, this time, as the leg crosses behind, we want the athlete to push down hard on the foot. We want them to get off the ground on this one. Ready? Go. Cross the leg, push. Up high, get up in the air. There we go. Good job, guys. And then we worked on this for about 5 minutes this afternoon, so I'm pretty impressed.
How they doing, Coach? Oh.
That's a whole lot better than you'll see in most high schools when they try and put that in and go, why did I ever try that? Are you crazy? All right, let's go move back. Remember the back leg extension? Yep. Turn around. So we work in play, we go forward, we're working lateral, now we're going backwards. So that back leg extension, again, the key to this one is this forward lean. They're still going to pump their arms, just going to they're going to have to pick their heel up to extend their leg backward. Really, really good for the hamstring. Okay, ready? Go. Reach back, reach. Good. Again, when you first put this in, if you haven't done this, it's going to look more like a back pedal. But again, for what we want on the hamstring, it has to be extended. It has to be extended so it contracts. Okay, coming back. There we go. Good. All right, now we're going to test the back pedal. We want low, fast back pedal. And now with high school people, you got to tell them this. With high school people, you have to tell them, if you do not pump your arms on a back pedal, what do you think is going to happen? You're going to fall. So again, if you're doing this with high school, get probably college, probably your freshman too, right? Pump those arms again. All right, nice and low, all the way down to the second couple. Ready, go. Good. Okay, coming back, ready, go. Very good. So, you see how much technique we're, and this is quick. I mean, they're a fast study, so the learning curve is really fast here. All right, let's go to, now we get, the next phase of this is going to be some low-level skips and bounds, so we put that in the movement prep. So first of all, let's go scissor bound. Okay, we call this a scissor bound. Again, what we're looking for is them to stay upright. No, we don't want them leaning back. Arm action is the same. So we tell the kids, if your legs are moving fast, what else is going to move fast? Your arms. Okay, scissor bound, ready, go. Good. I can stay there. Let's come back to the prime time. So prime time, it's Dion's move. Really, it's a great track. It's a great preparation move because you pull the floor underneath you, great for the hamstring. So prime time. Ready to go? Arm action. I mean, how many times we did it? It's all arm action. They were great. Posture, head was still, everything is all running absolutes that you have to have. Tall, skinny, head still, shoulder rotation, that's speed. That's running technique. Remember the high kick and skip? And the last one, we just, now that they're good and warm, we really put some stress on the hamstring with a real high kick. Okay, ready to go? Try to reach up. Good. All right, come on back. Ready to go? So again, now you're getting, that was pretty good. Got to give him a hand for that. That's the movement prep part of the series, okay? And again, depending on time, you can cut some of those drills out, but those are really good everyday drills. Once the kids master in our program, this would be probably what we start working with our athletes at our place in the 7th grade. When they get out of 6th grade, the summer that they're called in the South we call rising 7th graders. The summer of that 6th grade year is one. Most of the 6th graders would spend that summer just mastering that list. But guess what? By the time school started, they'd have those drills down pretty good. So that would be phase 1. Phase 2, we start adding some of the low-level skips and bounds. So let's face that way. And I think on that second page, we call this a power skip. It's just for height. We allow the athlete to take one step, and then they're going to, now we're working on coordination and balance because they're going to skip off each foot, okay? Let's power skip as many as for height down to that second call. All right, one step left, get up as high as you can, no walking in between. You got to transfer your weight when you push off. Okay, ready? Go. Drive up, drive the arm up, and there you go. Good. Now there's your element of coordination and balance. Being able to push off both feet is a skill. Okay? Now, let's come on back. Push over and get him on back. Ready? Go. Drive that arm, use your arm. Good. Again, a simple skip, but very, very effective. Now we're working on what? Putting force into the ground. The athletes understand that. Now let's go to this power skip. Now we're going distance. Okay. So same motion. It's still a skip. We haven't really got into bounding per se, but it's still force production. It's still a skip. So step left, and let's do 3 skips for distance. Right. Okay, ready to go? Step. We'll dive in the over ground. Now, just a rule of thumb, when they really master this, an athlete should be able to do that step and 3 skips and cover 30 yards. They should be able to cover 30 yards. What that teaches you, number one, they're putting that really good force into the ground. Number two, they're giving you effort. If they're falling short of that and it's close, it's probably not effort. But if they're getting 20 yards, they're not trying very hard. So again, it's just a good, what I found over the years, they should be able to cover 30 feet, 10 yards in those skip for distance. All right, guys, come on back, step right, ready, go. Give you a little mountain, but still, it's a skip. You want the knee up, low level, not very taxing. And, good. All right, next we have this front part. Let's go skater bomb. We call it a skate here. It's a skater hop, skater bomb. Now we're going to move laterally. So now, not only are we getting force production, but now we're working on balance and coordination because we're going to work going left first. Okay, going left first. We're going to alternate left, right, down, move it to, just go to the first call. Okay, and arm action is the same. So now we're going to work on some balance and some coordination because we want them to actually stick this landing. The key coaching point in this, when you first start, your kids are going to want to go 2 or 3 feet. And you should be going 5 to 6 feet per skater bound, okay? So bend that knee and really throw it, okay? Go, we'll work with left first. Ready, go. Throw it. Hit. Good. We like stick. We really want to coach the stick. I want to see them stick that landing, be under control before they throw the leg out again. All right, let's go right. A little longer stick on your landing. All right, ready? Go. Stick. There we go. Pretty good. Pretty good. So, again, force production. Easy to teach. The learning curve is a little bit because the kids are afraid to throw out, but really you want to look at least a 4 or 5 foot bound with each one. Okay. Make sure I covered everything. 2. Okay, good. That one, you saw those drills on phase 2. So, any questions so far? Bounding. Movement. All right, now we get into the fun stuff, acceleration. And acceleration, I mean, it's, coming from high school, I know all the value of 22, 23 miles an hour, but guess what? An athlete at our level is going to hit that maybe 20 miles an hour once in a game, but they're going to be in some kind of stance 70 times in a game. So we spend probably 70% of our time on acceleration drills, 30% of the time even in season. Now we are going to run long and fast twice a week. Coach said a big thing, it's a injury prevention. If you're not running fast twice a week, you're going to get hurt. You're going to get hurt. So we do run long and fast, but for this, we don't do this as part of this. It's all acceleration, and I love off-balance stuff. I put them in an awkward position, and in a very short amount of time, the athlete knows the position they have to be in to get out of the stance and to be able to be effective moving forward. Okay? You don't have to spend a lot of time coaching it. They're going to bumble and stumble all over the place, but that's part of the process. Let's go to the kneeling stuff. Yep. So kneeling stuff, what we look like, I generally go with the left leg first and the right. So what we look for is what we're looking for is we want a negative shin angle, so the shin just, or the knee barely over the toe, okay? We want to make sure that his leg, the back leg is lined up directly on straight and the toe curled, all right? Now, from this position, which foot is he going to push off with? Who thinks right? Who thinks left? It's a trick question. In reality, you have to push with both feet. Push with both feet. If you push off one side, your first step's going to be sideways. Okay, so you have to, it teaches the athlete to push with both feet. Okay? So for the sake of this, because speed work, acceleration, I only ask for 3 steps. Okay? In these drills, I don't want to tire them out. I don't want to run 5 yards because we're talking about a group of 86 or 60 kids coming. So I got them spread out all over the field. If it's a smaller group, I'll waterfall. I'll let him go, next group, but for the sake of this, both these guys will go at once, okay? So this isn't a battle, all right? So now we talk about arm position. The opposite arm, opposite leg, so which arm should be up? Okay, where should the left one be? Right, like this, somewhere near, so he can throw it out. Which arm is moving first? What's this arm going to do? It's got to come forward. What's this arm? It's got to be violent, ripping back to get out of the way. Okay. So again, now we're working on really good arm action here. So we always talk about violent arm swing. To accelerate quickly, you have to have violent arm swing. I mean, really super violent. Okay. 3 steps. Ready? Go. Good. I'll walk back and then we won't make this together. I think it's a pretty simple one. Again, it teaches them, it's kind of like teaching an airplane coming in for a touch and go landing, because out of that position they gradually rose up. That's why the shin angle is so important. If that shin is straight up and down, where is he going to go? It's going straight up. So this, he's got the proper angle going forward. So in some drills, you're going to see kids take that little rock step. Coaches go berserk over that. But in reality, what that athlete is doing is giving himself a proper shin angle. If you say, don't take a back step and his legs are straight, how can you move quickly out of that? So if he rocks back, saw the shin angle is perfect. So I see that a lot. You know, in drills, we don't really want, you don't have to coach that, but that back step is not going to kill you. It just lines you up perfect. Okay? Let's do a split. Now, this gets fun. Now, here we go. Left knee down. We call these are in that handout. It's called the split start. So I'll say tweak. That'll be the whistle. It's going to be one whistle, so you're going to split your feet. The second tweak, you get out of there. Okay, tweak. Tweak, boom. Real good. So balance, coordination, explosion. Now, that being said, we don't want them jumping up. Okay, that can be a start, a split jump start. I think it's even on there. Okay, let's go two splits. Now it gets a little harder. So in this one, we're going to split them twice. And I want you to watch the distance, watch how the split shortens up. Okay? See, that's good position there. Okay? First split, tweak, tweak. We're looking for the same distance, because what happens if he takes that, if his split is shorter, he's going to go straight up in the air. Okay? So the splits, we want long splits. Okay? All right, ready? Let's go. Tweak, tweak, tweak. Okay, ready? Tweak, tweak, tweak. Just a quick burst. Okay. Again, you're looking for the splits. Boom, boom. And in the beginning, I slow the whistle down. Tweak, give them time, tweak. But after a while, it's bam, bam, bam. Once they master the drill. Okay. Now this one I did. The next couple we didn't work on, so we'll see how they do. So now we make it a little tougher. So we want them in a good linebacker stance. Now the first tweak, you're going to drop with your left knee down in a split position. Okay. The second tweak is going to be a split. Third tweak, you're out. Okay, you ready? Tweak, tweak, tweak. Balance, coordination, power, and more drills, simple drills. You know, and they're learning to use their arms correctly. They're learning to push off. They're coming upright really good. So I mean, it's short now. It's taking us some time to do this, but in the scheme of thing, man, we'd already be done with acceleration. Okay? Now, the real tough one. So face that way. So now this one is going to be a rotating drop. All right? So you're going to rotate facing this way. Rotate right, facing that way. Oh yeah. And rotate. So now, that's a skill, right? But you got to get your hips, your shoulders, your head, everything turned around in the same direction. Okay? So first tweet is a rotating drop, then the split, then the start. All right, ready? Tweet, 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 tweet. Yeah, pretty good for that. I was hoping to mess them up, but they're pretty good, Coach. So, but again, be careful with that. Take your time with that one, because that, again, each of the off-balance whistle starts are a little more complex, and you only have to do one or two. We usually do one with the left knee down, come back with the right knee, we're done. Okay? All right, now some of the other stuff that we do. I'll put it with the sticks down. Let's do 1 to 4 point stance. This one I like. What I heard one of the presenters talked about knee punching. That's what really acceleration is, a bunch of knee punches. So this one, you get it in this position. Now let's take that, your choice of leg up behind you as high as you can reach it. Oh yeah. Now in the tweet, all he's going to do is looking for the knee punch, going to punch his knee right through his arms and get out of there. Ready to tweet? Balance, coordination. I said, now you're gonna see them pop up a little bit because that's because of the force of the swing. That's okay. It's just a great balance drill. It's a great starting drill. All right. Let's go. Let's do the one with opposite arm, opposite leg. This one gets fun. Knee off the ground. Remember, you're off the knees have to be there. You have to be off the ground. Now this is a hard one. This is really awkward. Because what you'll see, okay, relax. Want the arm, opposite leg, straight out. Okay. All right, go ahead. Let's go. Throw and go now. Ready? Go. Go down. That's pretty good. Coming out of a start like that is balance, coordination, force, technique. So that's a kind of acceleration drill. Now, we do a series where we do go up on both feet. We call it a tall and fall. So on this one, you can do staggered, you can do it square. We have the athlete, arms at their side. I'll dictate which foot they're going to lead with. So we're going to step, when you fall, step with your left foot out. Okay? I give them one command, and that's air. Okay, ready? Air. And they go. When the heel comes up, we don't have the space or the time to go into it. But look on that page where it says rebel sack. What we do after that is now there's two ways we do rebel sack. It's either in a circuit, we have a lot of players, so this one is 8 stations. There's 16 players at a station, so we have 128 players. They do 2 reps of each drill, and then we rotate. Now, I sold this to our head coaches. Show me a football drill that 128 players are doing something football speed-wise at the same time. There is none. You can do that. You can have all 16 players go at a time. Now it takes equipment, it takes space. You can adapt it to volleyball. You can adapt the same kind of principle to basketball. Our softball girls are a really strong softball program. They do sack in their outfield. So, and it can be needs. Like if you're worried about flexibility, you can have a hurdle station. If you want to do a resistance run, push a sled. We have an uphill right by our practice field, so they're going to go uphill. So we would do 2 reps of that. It takes And it would take less than 10 minutes to run all that through. I wish we had the space and time to show you that, but it just adds on. So now, another way to do it, and I've done it with some other schools, is we assign, like say football, we have the different position groups. We would make a suggestion like to the offensive linemen, certainly would do hurdles, they would certainly do some kind of scramble start. Give to the offensive line coach, you have 5 minutes to get these 2 reps done or 4 reps done. And what happens with how good those kids do is entirely up to the position coach. So we took that off. Instead of them guys standing around, now we actually put them to work. So they had 5 minutes with their kids to do something, 4 reps, something specific that was going to help them, whether it was a hurdle, whether we do some starts with, we call a helter-skelter, where it's like a seat roll start, anything like that, so it can be adapted. The skill guys would do something entirely different, and at the end I'm going to show you a really, really good drill called Chaos, a change of direction drill that you can run multiple players, and all you need is a cone. So we'll do that at the very end, okay? So that would be we'd go from movement prep to bounding, acceleration, run the sack, and then now there's no such thing as a slow start to practice because they're already moving fast. They're already moving fast. And we talk about volume, how you've got to be prepared to play the game. So at our place, without the technology to count yardage, we count reps. We want our players to be able to play right off the get-go, 80 plays. Whether you're offense or defense, 80 plays. So what you saw was each of those drills would be a rep. So our trainers would be counting the reps, whether count the movement pattern, count the bounce, count the acceleration, count the sack drill. It's all reps. Then we go to what our football guys, we call team pass. It's a scripted offense versus defense. We're not going to the ground, but we are going to run 20 plays, but we're going to run a play in 20 seconds. So ball snap, the assistant coach already has the second ball. If we're on the left hash, he may have the ball 10 yards down the field on the right hash. Whatever happens through the play, when the whistle blows, they got 20 seconds to get lined up. If it's a pass and it's completed, the receiver has to score, no matter where we are. He might have to sprint 80 yards. He has to score. So guess what? Offense has to get their second string receiver on the field. If the defense is going to sub, they got 20. They've got to get the call, get on the field, and get lined up. If that does not happen, and coaches, you'll love this, everybody on the field does 5 up downs. Coaches, if you're trainers, if you're a spectator on the sideline, you're expected to do 5 up downs. So now, look at how, in the context of the first half-hour practice, we've already played game speed. Now we slow it down with individual and get to football. So that was kind of the mentality that we put in. It was all movement, all speed, all game speed, all the time. And that can be adapted. Basketball, the same movements. They would do a 3-man weave drill up and down the floor, basket, come back with it for 2 straight minutes, sprinting. So, I mean, it can be adapted to any sport, and you're working on speed and movement all year round, right straight through the season. So, any questions on any of that? All right. Most that's in. If you do, Latasha will have my email. I'll be glad to explain that deeper. Now, that being said, we like our movement. We still have a little bit more time, right? We're out of time?
Go ahead,
All right, can I have 5 more minutes?
I want to come on, coach.
All right. In the weight room now, we go in the weight room. Again, we are going to do something to try. It was my version of French contrast training. We didn't have the equipment. We didn't, the kids try to teach the French concept method to a bunch of high school kids. You might as well pound yourself in the head. So what we do, we're gonna do a strength movement. We're gonna follow immediately by that lifter is gonna do something that's gonna help his speed. Okay, make sense? All right, so let's go ahead on the steps. Oh, you speech this. So this first one, we have, about a little bit higher box. Let's go ahead with the speech step. Put your foot up, and bring it back and move that foot. Okay, so he comes off a good squat, and now we're going to do something to work on his running technique. We call it a speed step. A little bit higher box is more beneficial. I had custom-made boxes 14 inches high, and that was really worked good for us. And what it does, it's a running drill, so he's put all the force production here. We're watching his arm swing, watching where he puts his foot. Speed step, go ahead, right? Touch. Keep going. Just touch and go, there you go. Heel down. Now, what you see how his foot lifted up and started to slide? He's not pushing down hard enough. So it's an easy coach. Push down, more force down. Okay, a couple more. There you go. There you go. So squat, speed step. Takes nothing away from the squat, enhances speed work, and gives him something to do. Because if you're a high school, you have a lifter, a spotter. If you don't do something with this third athlete, he's going to be at the drinking fountain, or he's going to be pinching the guy next to him. There's going to be something going on. In this one, he's going to take his foot off, tap the floor, then he's coming up on the box. So quick tap. Look up, there we go, tap and go. You can make that so it becomes a jump if you want, but again, it's his arm action, his posture, his head position, where he touched the floor, it's all running. Now, what we do rep-wise, we don't burn them out in this. So in this packet is an acceleration ladder. Again, I wish you'll have to contact me about that, but it's a stride length drill that we do. So the idea being, if we watch most teams run a 40, so maybe your freshman running a 40 and counting their strides, the average athlete takes 26 steps to run a 40-yard dash. So by working on stride length on a ladder like this, some people used to call it wickets, I started out doing 40 yards all at 5 feet. So every athlete in the program can do that, but that means that the 26-step athlete was now down to 24. So then we took 40 yards at 5.5 feet. The 26-step athlete was now down to 22. So who's faster, 22 or 26? Same distance, obviously the 22. It's all stride length. Every kid in the program can do that. Now, when you get to 6 feet, that your real bigs are not going to get that. They're not going to do that, but they've already improved their stride length. 6 feet, all your skill, your linebackers, defensive end types should make 6 feet. Now, that same 40 that was 26 strides is now 20-foot stride. Who's quicker? Obviously the 20 steps. So when you go over, in high school we would go as long as 6.5. Okay, 6.5. Now, you really got to be booking to get 6.5 feet. That takes you down to 18. So that was always the goal. So every drill we did, like a speed step, a hammer step. I'm going to show how we run a 40 on the box. 9 and 9. We're always thinking 18. We're making ourselves run 40 and 18. It's just a little mind game. We're showing the 40. And this is another one. Just come off the squat. We have the sticks. Move fast. Go. Pretty simple. It takes nothing away from the strength move. More running technique, moving his feet quickly. I think Adam called it twitch. That's a twitch drill, fast twitch. So again, it just reenacts. All right, last thing, I promise. I got to show you a chaos drill. All right, these guys haven't seen it, so this will be fun. You're going to see acceleration, deceleration, change of angle, and re-acceleration all in one drill. So stand on the left side of your coach, you're on the left. What the athlete's gonna do is on the tweak, they're on both of them on the left side, they're coming across to the right side of the center cone. So they're gonna be side by side. They're running at each other, which happens on Friday night and Saturday afternoon, right? Somebody's coming at you. All right, so do that. Come to the right side of the cone. He's I was hoping to knock heads, but they haven't. So we'll get them. Go. Right down, tap your feet. Now, the next tweak, he's got to think. They've got to back up 4 steps, back pedal 4 steps, and then finish past that cone on the side he started. So where do you got to go? Right hand side, you got to come on this side. Ready, tweak. 1, 2, 3, 4, accelerate. So you can do that. I mean, that's a lot of people, any sport. Now, we start at about 10 yards. When they get real good, we close the distance to 5. So now that's acceleration, decelerate, change direction, change your angle, and accelerate. So you try again. This time, go forward. You know what it's going to start, and when you get to the cone, plant, back up 4 strides. So again, it's a good coaching point. In every play, you have a job to do. Their job is to get to this cone, not here. If you're going to get that, they're going to want to win the drill, so they're going to stop here and back up. You got to get to the cone. Okay? All right, ready? Go. Now, forward again. Back up. Come on, accelerate. Easy. Now, if I have 2 more volunteers,
Oh, great.
put 4 people.
Okay.
Come on, coach.
Oh, boy.
Did everybody sign the waiver?
I got 5 on Scotty.
Hey, where's my volunteer?
Come on, coach.
You're still up.
Oh, still up.
You got these things. You're on the left.
Oh,
The guys that start on the left do the same thing. Nothing changes. So the guy on the left runs the drill just like he did. The guy on the right, the first thing he has to do, he is backpedaling 6 steps. Okay? So you're back. Now, once you're back there, you've got a cross on that side.
Left side.
Left side. Okay? You're crossing on the left. When you get to the center, straight down, back, pedal 4, cross on the right side. You do nothing.
You're not flying trainers here. Here we go.
No, all 4 go at one time. So let's walk through it. Let's walk through it. Ready? Go. Walk through it. Ready?
what happened?
Remember, you ground cross, otherwise that's what's going to happen.
Colton.
You guys start on the right, you got to end on the left there. Then back up and go on the right. 6.
Oh, right, get that going back up.
So you back up 6,
Yeah,
back
6
up
here.
6.
Well,
You gotta go to the left side of the cone, back up 4, finish on the right side. Oh my, that's right. You guys,
That's what I call a chaos.
You're coming. You're coming. I tell, we run this at school, I tell them, it's full contact, so if you can slap them on the neck, you got now you're really getting some help from this.
so I'm back over the second.
6 and 4. 6 and 4.